It was an ordinary Saturday afternoon, the kind where you expect nothing more than quiet, maybe a short trip to run errands, or a slow sip of coffee while the world moves on outside. But that day felt different, charged with an unspoken tension I couldn't ignore. My wife, Lisa, moved through the house like a ghost, her gaze avoiding mine, her words clipped, her laughter hollow. I'd noticed it over the past few days. Something was off, but she refused to share what it was. I had grown adept at reading her moods over the years, recognizing the subtle cues when something was wrong. Normally, I might have confronted her, but I hesitated. I didn't want to seem paranoid, didn't want to start a fight over something I couldn't even name. Yet, that afternoon, restraint slipped away. I was lounging in the living room when she entered, arms folded, a stormy expression clouding her face. "We need to talk," she said, voice flat. My stomach nodded as I nodded, bracing myself. "Go on," I murmured. Lisa sank into the chair opposite me, her eyes finally meeting mine. "You've been so wrapped up in yourself lately," she began, frustration lacing her words. "It's like I don't even matter anymore. I've tried to reach you, tried to talk, but you don't listen. I don't even know why I'm still here." Her words struck me, sharper than any argument we'd ever had. But it wasn't just the cruelty, it was the weight behind it. She was telling me, without hesitation, that I no longer held importance in her life. My chest tightened, a mix of shock and a strange, unfamiliar clarity settling in. Anger? Maybe. But more than that, there was a colder sensation, a quiet resolution that steadied my shaking hands. If she could discard me so easily, why should I continue giving her my care? For the first time in years, I felt something I hadn't anticipated, freedom. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I simply stood, straightened my back, and walked away. She called my name, but I didn't stop. No explanations, no justifications. The decision had been made. The following days were surreal. I didn't chase her. I didn't attempt to mend anything. Instead, I focused on myself, reclaiming the parts of life I had set aside for her. I stopped bending to her schedule, stopped catering to her whims. I let her see that I was no longer waiting for validation from someone who had dismissed me. I was someone who mattered to myself. At first, she seemed indifferent. Then, gradually, her attention shifted. Messages appeared on my phone. Calls came. She started showing up at my favorite haunts, trying to catch me. But I was elsewhere, living my own life. A week later, she confronted me, frustration etched across her features. "Why are you so distant? It's like you don't care about me anymore," she demanded. I looked her in the eyes, calm but firm. "Isn't that what you told me?" I replied, "You said I was nothing to you, so I stopped caring." The realization hit her instantly. She hadn't expected accountability, hadn't imagined a world where I wouldn't chase her. Over the next few weeks, she tried harder, but the dynamic had changed. She had to earn attention she once took for granted. Meanwhile, I rediscovered myself. Old hobbies returned to my life. Friendships once neglected were rekindled. I realized I had been pouring my energy into someone who never truly valued it. I was no longer defined by her approval. I was my own priority. One evening, she attempted to reconcile, her tone softer, almost tentative. "I've been thinking. I didn't mean what I said. I was frustrated. I don't want to lose you." I studied her carefully. I could have softened, could have fallen back into old patterns. But I had changed. "You told me I was nothing," I said quietly. "I stopped caring because of that. Maybe we're just living in ways that don't work anymore." She tried to plead, but I was unmoved. I had reclaimed my life. I wasn't desperate for her love, her forgiveness, or her attention. In the end, she left, not in body, but in spirit. And I found a peace I hadn't known in years. The sting of "you're nothing to me" had lost its power. I walked away from that chapter, free from the toxic weight that had once defined me. It wasn't simple. It wasn't perfect. But it was real. And from that moment, I understood something essential. When you stop pouring energy into someone who doesn't care, you begin reclaiming the life that's always been yours. And after that, freedom clarity, and a new journey, one where I came first.